Hey, what's up? What's going on? It's your girl, Mary Jane. Please like, comment, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Be greatly appreciated from the bottom of my heart, my peace, my peoples. Let's talk about Black Ink Crew New York, Season 6, Episode 3. We start off with, none other than Donna giving us the scoop of what happened last episode about how she had to get into it with, her ex-husband's sister. She had to get into it with her and how she described what happened. Like, she had the mace and the vagina area. Basically, she saw a Dominican girl with red hair that came into the shop, and she was just like, okay, let me talk to you outside or whatever. So then she goes outside, she talks to her, and Donna felt like, it was on and popping. So she pulled out the mace and she started spraying. And I was like, yo. And so what was like, yo, so you had the mace in your vagina? And she was like, nah, I didn't have it in my vagina. I had it in my underwears. And so then what was like, well, to stay away from Donna when she wears underwears, because Donna usually never wear underwears. I was like, yo, why you got to go there? I was like, yo. And Kev, was telling everybody, like, yo, listen. He was telling Mel, like, because Mel left early. He was telling Mel, like, yo, all the girls was fighting. All the girls you saw in here, they was in here fighting. They was doing their thing. And so then we move on to Donna was just like, it is what it is. And when Walter was like, yo, we got to be careful with Donna. I was just like crazy. So anyways, then we move on from that. Then the new receptionist that Walt hired, the night before because he was intoxicated. He was trying to get some punani. He hired her. She comes in. She has her breasts all hanging out, with a see-through white shirt on, nipples all hard. Like, basically, that's how you come for your first day of work. I guess so. And so, Mel was like, huh? And so what was like, I know I don't really have, power to really hire anybody, but, I was just thinking that we need a receptionist and we really do need a receptionist. So basically, I wanted to hire her. And so, Mel was like, okay, it's okay. And she said, and so then Mel started giving her a tour and all that other good stuff. And Mel was like, you know what we need? We really need paper towel. Did she give that girl petty cash, or did that girl have to go out and spend her money on paper towel and never to show up back again? Maybe we'll see her another time. I think we are going to see her again because I think she's going to hook up with somebody in the shop. And I think she's going to hook up with Donna. But anyways, so the girl leaves. Mel locks the door so she can't get back in. Mel is faulty. I think this tax situation really got Mel feeling some type of way where, like, she's more hardcore. Like, this season, Mel is hardcore. Like, she's holding no punches back. Like, she don't care. She's doing her thing or whatever. So I was like, damn, Mel, that's foul. But Mel was like, whatever. And so then we get seized. He goes to the doctors, and then he gets, his results. He finds out that he does have an STD. He has mycoplasma genitalia. Basically, it's kind of like a UTI or whatever. But this particular bacteria, when it's found in women, it's a high chance that they might develop HIV. It's in the slideshow, but since I'm on camera, it's small. So anyways, C's need to let these females know that they might possibly have HIV. But I guess the disease being transferred to a male, it's a UTI or whatever. But it's a UTI in women as well as a bacteria, but it can develop because they did this study in Zimbabwe. And I didn't research it all that much, but it's in a slideshow, but you really can't see it. So please Google it, So anyways, we get from that. So we get to, Sky's with Allison. They're about to fly to Texas to go meet her babies, to go meet her sons or whatever. So she's about to do her damn thing. So she goes to meet her son, and Des, he's there. He's actually playing football or whatever. And so she actually meets, the adopted mother. They have a good relationship. The adopted mother seems nice. She's open arms with Sky. She's letting Sky know, like, hey, this is where they live at. They like the pool. She shows them pictures. She shows them the dinner table where they have dinner at. She tells them that one of her sons like donuts. She was like, I like donuts too. And, and being a health nut, one of her sons is a health nut, which is, I think, is Des or whatever. And so he's really open to meeting her and all this other stuff. He'll be getting off of football practice early to check out his mom, Sky. So, but, the mom says, like, I don't know how is it going to be when you meet Genesis, because Genesis is on a whole different level. Genesis was almost 19. His father came back into the picture and basically filled his head with lies. So, he basically doesn't feel the same way he used to feel about you, like the love that he had for you. Sky Son is so cute. that he has for you and all this other good stuff because of the father. I guess the father is telling his side of the story because you have the adoptive mother telling, the sons about the side of the story that she knows from the mother. And then she also tells, them that the adoptive mother told Sky kids as well that Sky always wanted to come see you. She always wanted to come visit you and all this other good stuff, but she didn't want to interrupt your lives. So they always had a love for her. But once the father of, Genesis came in the picture, it kind of like changed. I guess it kind of changed because he's been hearing one side of a story for so long. Now he's actually hearing his father's side of the story, and he's identifying with his father more than he identified with his adopted parents. And Genesis said in an interview that he was in gangs, he was homeless, he was in jail, and he wrote Sky a letter, and he asked her for some sneakers because he didn't have any sneakers while he was locked up. All of the other stuff that he was saying, that he said in the interview, and he said Sky never responded, but when he reached out to his father, he responds. So it seems like there's a lot of different stories going on, because adoptive mother says that he came back into his life and came to the house or came to meet her, and she felt like it was a good idea because he was grown. But then her son says that he reached out to his father in jail when he was locked up. And then Genesis also says that he was upset with Sky because, she was showing her body on TV and it really affected him. And the people making fun of his mother are saying nasty things, nasty slurs towards his mother, that, he got into a lot of fights or whatever. So he has a whole different type of situation than Des has. Des is a lot younger, and Des is on a different type of, like, he has forgiveness for his mom. He forgives his mom, and he doesn't take anything personal. But I don't know if Des' father is in his life, because if Des' father comes into his life, will he change as well? But even though we know both of the kids have two different fathers, sometimes they're not the same, even though they're raised in the same house. But Sky was really happy that both of the kids was raised in the same house. We see the house looks nice, it looks wonderful. It looks like they had a really good upbringing, and you can see from Des what he's doing. He has a good upbringing or whatever. But, who's to say if this house is real? Who's to say if the, adoptive mother was paid? Because I don't, some people are open to being on camera about, being an adopted parent and putting the kids out on camera, but some people are not. So who's to say? Basically we just following this storyline. It seems like a lot of everybody is, has their own different storyline this year, and it's more like straightforward of what we're going to focus on. So Sky meets up with her. Everything's all good. She meets her son Des. He's happy to see her. He forgives her. He doesn't have any animosity towards his mom, because he doesn't. And he's different. Everybody doesn't feel the same. Just because, even though they was raised in the same house, he doesn't feel the same. He understands, what was going on. He was like, you don't got to worry about nothing. It's all good. I forgive you. And then Sky is telling, Des that, hey, listen, I'm going to be here for you. I'm going to be consistent. I'm here now. And Sky is on a different level. This is her 6th season on Black Ink Crew, you know what I mean? So she's probably making a little bit more money, and she's probably getting some endorsements, her got an Instagram going and things like that, where she's actually making some money, where she feels comfortable, she feels accomplished, where she can come and talk to her kids and want to be a part of their life. Or it could be, on the other hand, that since, Genesis did this interview at Duchess' shop and exposed all the stuff that Sky said in the past that doesn't add up, that now she has to make sure she put this in a storyline so people don't look at her negatively, and so she can right her wrongs. Because if Genesis wasn't on that interview with Duchess, and Duchess wasn't interviewing him, but if Duchess didn't have the interview in her shop and Genesis didn't get that interview, would Sky be focusing on this storyline, or would she be focusing on something else? Because in the past, Sky said things on here like they were twins. They go to Dubai, they went here, they went there, and all that other good stuff, which, we seen one father, and the one father we seen that was older, that now we find out he's the youngest son's father than the father that we see that was on an interview with Genesis as the oldest son father. So even though we did see Genesis' father on here and he forgave Sky, but I don't think at that time any of them reached out or did Genesis reach out to Sky and him at the same damn time after this, because it doesn't, I can't remember the time that he said he reached out to both of his parents, but he said he only got one response or whatever. So his father's filling Genesis head with things, and then he's hearing what other people, and he heard what his adopted mother said to him about Sky and all this other stuff. So basically he has to figure out the truth, and he's young and he's impressionable, and he probably feels abandoned, and it's everything. So moving on from that, it was so good to see Sky and her youngest son, and he was so cute, so sweet, so humble, and everything. But Sky's son Genesis is just like Sky. He looks like Sky. He acts like Sky. He's Sky. That's her. So she's gonna have to deal with him in a whole different way. She's gonna have to deal with him the way she would deal with herself, making herself be believable, making herself being actually humble, and being actually real, because you can cry the tears don't mean anything today. People cry all the time. We got actors that cry. So she's gonna have to deal with Genesis the way that she will want somebody to deal with her, because they have the same attitude. And also, she has to understand that he's coming from a place of hurt. Even though she's hurt too, she can't throw herself in a situation and say, the things that she did say. So we'll get to that. So anyways, and then we got C's. He gets back to the shop. Everybody's in the shop chilling. Ted, Donna, Kev, Walt, Mel, and Young Bay. They're in the shop chilling. And Caesar is drinking, what is it, cucumbers and water. I was like, why are you drinking salad? You know what I mean? But cucumbers and water is very good. And just remind me, I haven't had cucumbers and water in a long time. I was about to buy some cucumbers today, and I was like, what am I going to use it for? And I forgot. Always drink cucumbers with with water, but make sure you have good water, either distilled water or you have water with a high pH. So anyways, and so Caesar was like, yo, I'm a new man now. I ain't gonna tell you why, but I went to the doctors. And then Donna was like, he must have got this, he must have got that, he must have got this, he must have got that. I was like, oh. And so Caesar was like, I'm gonna change me. I'm gonna do my life differently. And plus, you know what? I'm gonna try to make a connection with my baby mama. I'm gonna try to talk to her and get things on the right playing field, because we got a co-parent together. And then Ted is like, oh my God, why would you want to do that? She tried to lock you up 7, 8 times, 9 times, put you on child support. She did all this to you. She did all that to you. And then they show the flashback of Caesar getting locked up and the baby mama standing there, Crystal standing there, and all this other stuff. And so once we move on for that, Ted was like, yo, I ain't feeling that. He's not feeling that at all. And then who walks in? Lola, whatever he is. He walks in and he has roses for Mel. And Mel was like, I need some roses after, the debacle we had in the shop the other day with him coming in here. And plus Mel admits that, she owes $30,000, which I don't believe. I believe that's just part of a storyline. I believe the RV is part of a storyline too as well. A storyline that is forced. So anyways, he comes in, he has the flowers because Lalo's not that nice, and he's not that caring, which we have seen, but maybe he is, but this ain't real, so in my opinion. So anyways, he comes into the shop or whatever. He hugs her. I got a present for you. He takes her outside and he shows her the RV. She goes in. He was like, this is where we sleep. You can even cook here, baby. There's a bathroom. And she was like, this doesn't make any sense. We got a 1-year-old child. I love our apartment in Brooklyn or wherever they live at. And then he was like, but we can live anywhere. We can live on Fifth Avenue. We can park this van anywhere. No, you can't, because it will get towed and removed. Because if you park on Fifth Avenue or any luxurious neighborhood, you will get towed. The cops will come and tow that car or ask you to move. And so she was like, Mel was like, I didn't leave Florida to come here to be trailer park trash. But you know what? There's some trailer homes that are luxurious. It's just that you gotta own one. So it is what it is. And so, Lola, he was just like, yo, listen, she was like, what about our apartment? And he was like, we can sublease that apartment and we could be making money on the side and save money, whatever. But so let's just believe this is real. The 1 year is going to be very uncomfortable for Mel and Lola to live in there, and then plus with a baby. But the baby will know its environment. I don't know how the air is. I don't know how the breathing air is in there and all this other stuff. I don't know how they're going to keep it warm at night. Do they have to run the engine? That right there is not good for the baby, but the baby won't know. It'll be difficult for Mel, and it'll be difficult for Lola. to live there. I'm gonna just say Mel Baby's father to live there, whatever. So, anyways, but you know what? It's better than living on the street, and you can save some money now and do it while the child's young, while the child's not running around and shit, I guess, if it's real. So, anyways, we got that going on. And so, damn. And so we got Sky. She goes to see her son's football game. It's all good. He's number 53. You know, Des is doing everything. He's good. He got the girls on him. You know, Sky's happy. She's like watching out for the other chicks or whatever. She does a selfie with him. They talk, and she'll be back. And she tries to get in contact with, you know, Genesis through the adopted mother, and he just says no, he doesn't want to meet her. He was just like, I'm done. I'm done with that. So then the next day we get back to the shop. Everybody's in the shop chilling. The whole Black Ink crew's in the shop chilling. I don't know why Oh Shit's not on this episode, but I mean Oh Shit's not here. But anyways, they start talking, and then Donna goes to, you know, Mel, like, yo, what was up with Lola in that RV? And she was like, yo, I don't even want to talk about it. And she was like, we spent the night in, and it was just, you know, Steve was just like, what? Ted was like, what? And Donna just had the stink face on, like, and then, you know, what was just like, okay, hey, it is what it is. And so then Steve was like, yo, that was really effed up. You know, what's up with that? And she was like, you know, it is what it is. It sounds good if you don't say it out loud. And so basically they're kind of like giving Donna the digs because she's about to live in an RV. But if that's the case, Steve, give her a raise, bump her a raise, or let her work in multiple shops, give her a loan. They were just looking at her like she ain't nobody. Like, damn. They was like, yo, that sounds, they're just like, yo, that sounds horrific. But you know what? It's better than being homeless. There's a lot of people that will prefer that trailer than sleeping on the street. And that's for real, for real. So anyways, then we get the Vagina Slayer, a.k.a. Alex. He walks in or whatever. He's about to do his tattoo. The same chick is there. He does his tattoo. And, you know, Mel doesn't like the tattoo. Mel was like, the tattoo is subpar. It doesn't, the line, the sketching, everything looks terrible. And, you know, C's is like, you know, C's like the dude. C's likes him. And C's was like, you know what? You can be an apprentice here. You know what I'm saying? You can be an apprentice here and all that other good stuff. And basically, you know, Mel was like, nah, he can't be an apprentice here. He was like, she was like, I already wiping one baby's ass. I'm not trying to wipe another baby's ass. And then, you know, C's is messed up for this one. C says, why can't he apprentice here? We got the worst apprentice over there sitting there, Donna. I was like, C's, you should not be calling her the worst apprentice, even though that tattoo was horrible. Hopefully Donna's only just filming for the show and she's not tattooing anybody, or she really got better. But we got to give Mel props, because you remember last year Mel was trying to do artistic activities and art designs and art creativity for people to enhance their drawing. She did try, and she got shit for it, and people didn't really participate like they're supposed to. And she did try. So anyways, we got to give Mel that. So anyways, Mel was like, nah, I'm not trying to do that. And Steve was like, yeah, you're gonna do that since you know you're the manager. Here's your new apprentice. And then Donna jumps in. She was like, yo, you need to, if you're gonna hire somebody, you need to stick by your hire. If not, let Walt be manager, because basically you ain't doing your job. So Caesar's like, these light skinned girls always got beef. So it seems like it's gonna be Ted and Donna against Mel. Mel's gonna be going up against a lot of bullshit or whatever. But you know, Mel can tattoo, and she's a good tattoo artist. And maybe she could focus on tattooing while Walt runs the shop. But Walt has to be sober when he does that. But I think Mel is a good manager, and she did a lot in the time span that she was there. And on top of that, the whole point of Mel hiring a new tattoo artist was to bring money into shop, not to have an apprentice, not for somebody that can't actually make money, because, you know, she's $30,000 in debt. So she wanted to hire somebody new to bring money into the shop, which this is all a storyline. We don't even, it's been out there that, you know, Mel doesn't even owe $30,000 because the tax documents that they showed, it says cents, and they don't put that, whatever people said, and all that other stuff. So who knows? So anyways, I'm just like, yeah. So Donna, you coming for her? Donna used to come for, you know, people that are in manager positions. You know, she came for her. I was like, yo, Donna, why are you doing that? Donna, why you going there with her? Donna, why you? But how do you think Donna looks with her short haircut? I think Donna looks nice with her short haircut, and it's pink. I think if she would have been black, it would have been hot. And Sky's short haircut looks nice with like the little finger waves going on. I think their haircut looks nice or whatever. So, anyways, Alex is going to be an apprentice, and he's happy that Donna is sticking up for him. I think Donna wants to find out, is he really the vagina slayer? But with C's episode with this STD, nobody needs to find out who's the vagina slayer, how good he is and how not he is. But his tattoo that he did was subpar. His tattoo was not like, whoa. It wasn't like, whoa, when we saw Young Bae do her tattoo. It was like, whoa. When we saw Mel do her tattoo, it was like, whoa. With his, it was like, okay. It's better than Donna's. He can actually tattoo better than Donna, so that's on point. So anyways, moving on from that, we get to, Sky. No, we get to see C's goes to meet up with his baby mama, and basically him and her, Crystal, actually get on the same page. He apologized to her. He asked her out or whatever, what he gonna say to her and this and that. So she said that she just wants, for him to say 3 words, I'm sorry, and say sorry for all the things he said. Say sorry for all the things that he's done to her. And C's like, yo, that's a long list. Can I just say I'm sorry for everything? And then she says, please don't call me a baby mama, but that's what you are, baby mama. But she said, I need a little bit more respect. I want you to call me baby mother. And I don't want you cussing around your daughter. I like that. Not cussing around your daughter. Boom. They toast. They're good. And so then we get on to Sky. Sky actually meets up with her son, Genesis. They get into the shop, and then Sky is over there. She's crying, and she was like, yo, I didn't have anything. Yo, you should have seen all the places I lived in. I was in group home. I was in shelters. I just made this money. No, I didn't really make this. She didn't say money. She was like, I was working at Macy's or whatever. I was on my lunch break and they called me for this black ink thing and I started doing it. I never had nothing stable. I can show you everything. And then he was like, that's bullshit. And then he threw something off the table, and then Sky jumps up and it seems like she's scratching towards him. Like, why do that? I don't know if he reached for her, but it didn't seem like that. And then all chaos breaks loose. Genesis is fighting with a big ass security guard. The security guard puts him in a headlock. Sky is saying, get off my son. And then after that happens, Genesis gets somebody else, and he kind of like flips him over, rolls him on the ground. And then the big security guard that had Genesis in a headlock originally, Genesis end up punching him in the back and punching him in the head, but on like sideways, and then pushed him. So Genesis is full with anger. So we know he was doing all right when he was locked up. That little skinny boy got some moves. He's just like his mother, whooping ass and taking questions later. So then Genesis is full with anger, and I think that we can't. The wrong approach was for Sky to talk about I didn't have any money, because it seems like that she's talking about I didn't have any money, so that's why I didn't reach out to you or whatever. And I think that was the wrong approach, to say I didn't have anything, but basically just to say I'm sorry and what can I do better, what can I do to have a relationship with you. Like, she shouldn't have brought up money or anything, because like in his interview, if it's true what he said he reached out to his mother because he didn't have any sneakers, and she didn't respond to him. And then for her to come at him, if this is actually the first time they talk, for her to say that, I didn't have any money, I didn't have this and I didn't have that or whatever, it makes it seem like it was about money, and it makes it seem like it lessens his feelings of him being abandoned by both parents. It lessens his feelings about anything. You make it about money. So it should have just been like, yo, listen, I was locked up, and he would understand that because he's been locked up. I lived in shelter. Your grandmother is, she has mental illness. She suffered from mental illness. She has bipolar. She has this and that. I thought going with this lady would give you a better life, or whatever. And then from there he can react to the situation. And maybe Genesis, and it seems like Genesis is being used as well, because now he was on that interview with in Duchess shop with his father there. And then now that now, but he talked to his father before he did that interview, so that's different. And so if this is actually the first time that he talked to Sky, it's on camera, it's on a TV show where he's seen his mother on TV when he was locked up. So it doesn't come off genuine. Then her crying like that and all that other stuff, it makes it seem like it's done for TV to him. That's probably how he took the situation. That's why he was angry, and he's already angry because of maybe the choices that he made, and he made them choices in his life to get locked up or to join a gang or whatever, because it looked like he has a home, but we don't know the intricate details of why he didn't stay with the adoptive parents. He did say that they wasn't good to him or whatever, but the other son, Des, says that they were good to him. So it's a lot of story going on. So anyways, Sky screaming, and then the big guy that had, Genesis in a headlock, grabs Sky, brings her out, and so then, finally they get Genesis out the shop, and he's yelling, he's screaming, he's full of anger. When he takes off his shirt and bends down, he's just full of anger because he's probably being manipulated so many different ways. He probably don't know who's telling him the truth, but his father, that guy that's walking with him, I believe that's his father. It's the same build, the same head. I tried to find him inside the restaurant that they was in, but only part I can get picture of him was the back of him. They didn't show the front of him, but he was in that, the father was in the restaurant, or he was on the outside just in case something was going to happen. And I don't know if they knew that Genesis was going to be this volatile and this was good for TV. I don't even know if it was real, because we all know that this shit be fake sometimes. But he was really hurt and he was really mad. But why did he come on? Why did Genesis come on camera? Did his father coach him to come on camera? Or did his father tell him, tell your side of the story? And he wasn't able to tell the side of the story, because if you watch the interview that he did at Dutch's shop, it was really hard for him to communicate a lot of different things. So, but Sky is trying to do the best that she can to get back into life. I think that Sky realized that, she's stable now. She got a little bit of coin and she can do some things for her kids. But the first thing she needs to do is get herself counseling so she can understand how to deal with, especially her angry oldest son, because he's probably the most angriest, because maybe he knows more. Maybe he's seen more. Maybe he had a bond with her. Maybe he cried every time that he was with the adopted parents. Maybe he dreamed about his mother every night. Maybe he did, maybe he was, because he knows who she is, and not having her in his life anymore, then being, all the way in Texas, his whole environment's different. And then the next time he does see her, she's on TV. So it could be a lot of different things. So anyways, peace. I'm out. One love to my peeps and my peoples.